What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today, ho 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 ho, champagne problems. That's the review that I'm doing for you. I rhymed. Ho with you. Anyway, uh, review and anyway, I. This movie has audio description. I know Champagne Problems doesn't sound like it would be a Christmas movie. It isn't really, but it wants to be because it takes place at Christmas. But it isn't really about like Christmas. Minka Kelly stars here, and this is directed by Mark Steven Johnson. Because apparently this is also where directors go to die. So I've seen this. I saw this last year. Lindsay Lohan's movie was directed by um, Mark. I can't think of his last name. Anyway, so they're starting to pick up these directors who used to do big features and now can only direct Netflix romances. So the guy who brought you Daredevil and Ghost Rider is bringing you Champagne Problems with Minka Kelly. So I know people didn't like the Ben Affleck Daredevil, but that's a career trajectory for you if you're wondering where that went. Um, and in this movie, she works for a company that is acquiring other brands, and they want to acquire this champagne label in France. So she has to fly to France for Christmas, and she gets to see Paris in Christmas, where she runs into this, cute Frenchman at a bookstore, and he's like, "I don't work here, but I'll show you the city if you would like, because I'm French and I'm hot, and this movie needs me to move the plot forward." So they go on a sightseeing tour, and it looks like that's going to be the last she ever sees of him. No, no, it's not. Because at her meeting the next day, when she goes to meet the owner of the vinery, is it winery, or because it is they're vines. I don't know. The owner of the champagnery, um, whose name is like Ubo or something, like it's some really weird name. I was like, what is this dude's name and why do they keep saying it? So Ubo runs the this brand, and he's invited a couple potential investors. There are these. There's this like European uh, German brand, I guess. I think that's the one that Flula Borg plays in this. um, and there's like a trust fund baby. And then there's her, Minka Kelly's here. And they all want to buy, and they all have different reasons, and they all have different pitches. And he's like, "I thought I was going to have a decision today, but I do not, so I will invite you all to the winery, and we will make a decision later. I will see who deserves to own the company." So, but at that meeting is his son. It's the same guy she went with the night before. OMG, Becky. OMG. So, yeah, that's where this goes and why it's a Netflix Christmas movie, so that those two can fall in love over champagne. Bubbles. There's also a dog in here called Bubbles. That's his name. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. And it kind of went where I thought it would go. So it'll probably go where you think it'll go too. Trust Fund Baby is not that bad, and he has an adoration for the champagne. So maybe that'll work out in her favor when she needs to find out something dark and sinister and make hard choices in a flirty little Christmas movie. Poor Minka Kelly. She's really got it rough. Anyway, I don't really love this movie. I don't know if you can tell from like the tone of my voice. I try to keep it kind of neutral. I could have come through and been like, "This is the best film I've seen all year, ever. This is better than Marty Supreme, one battle after another. This is the battle we should be having after one battle. The another battle that we should have after that battle is champagne problems." So I don't know, man. Um, it has scenes that just don't work. Like that it's like this scene is cute and that's all it needs to be. It's cute. I have a feeling our audience just wants cute. Sure, but I think also your audience has like a pulse. So there's like one of the scenes early on when she meets him in this bookstore for which she just kind of runs into him in a bookstore and assumes that he works there because he was helping somebody else and asks him to help her find something, which is the gag. And he's like, "I don't work here." Um, and she mentions basically doing like the basic, tourist version of Paris. And he's like, "If you want to, I have better view of Paris than the top of the Eiffel Tower." I was like, "I don't know, man. I think Eiffel Tower is just like a bucket list thing. I think for you, it's not because you see the Eiffel Tower all day, every day. But for people who have like never been there before, it's why it's a touristy thing." But okay. Anyway, he proceeds to talk to her entirely in French, and in his French speech, he rambles on about how he'd like to show her France, and he can give her the best night of her life, and blah blah blah, and all this kind of thing. He's like, I know you don't understand anything I'm saying right now." And so she sits there and just kind of listens to him ramble on in a language she doesn't speak, and assumes that everything that he's just said is something having to do with him showing her around because he's suggested that he would. And she was like, "No, I'm fine." And so she's like, "If I do let you show me around." And I'm like, "What are you responding to? He just said a whole bunch of things to you in a language you don't speak." Now there's like a lady that she looks over at and gives a thumbs up to. Like she gives Mickey Kelly a thumbs up, and I'm like, but did she hear it? Or is she just like, he's cute? Like, what are we doing here with this scene? So, I don't know. It's sort of like inoffensively bad. Like it's not really bad. It's not one of those films that slaps you in the face and says, "Oh, this is obviously a bad movie." It's just one of those movies that at the end of it, uh, I when I ask myself the question, did I enjoy watching it? I go, no, not really. I felt like it was kind of long. I checked the runtime a couple times, looked at my phone. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't really have my attention the whole time. Um, would I recommend it? I would not. The audio description was fine. I believe it's International Digital Center, Emily Grove, new narrator, I think. I believe that's it. I don't think I recognize the narrator. But um, yeah, I don't have problems with the audio description um, because they do speak French in here, and it did need to be translated, even though primarily um, most of the cast is English speaking and needs to, like there aren't for a film set in France, France. Good God. Um, there's a surprising amount of non-French characters dominating the main cast. So, yeah, this is one of those films where it's not interesting enough for me to give it a fresh score. This is just whatever. Um, and I have given at least one Christmas movie of the ones that I'm reviewing. I did give it fresh. There was one Christmas movie where I was like, yeah, I enjoyed that. That was fine. And then I'm kind of watching the rest of them and I'm going, I don't know. This is going to look like I just don't like the Christmas movies, but I don't think I like this year's crop of Christmas movies. that they're putting out. I think that's the problem. Um, there are other straight to streaming premieres and debuts that I do really like. Uh, they're just not the ones that opened this year, which is the problem. So I don't know. Champagne Problems is one of those movies that I'll forget I ever watched. It just doesn't really do anything for me. I'm gonna give it a 5.1 out of 10. It just it's like kind of a nothing burger of a movie for me. I just Minka's fine in it, but there's nothing about Minka that suggests that she couldn't have been played by 1,000 other actresses. There's nothing about her charm that's so unique to Minka Kelly. This film feels like one of those movies where you just can interchange the cast as needed, as required. Um, and I know I know for Netflix for their algorithm because of Emily in Paris, it works to just keep sending people to Paris. I get that, but make it interesting when you do. I would say going there to buy a champagne brand and then kind of losing the track on what is Christmas for a Christmas movie just doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like they barely spend any time on Christmas, and then after that, she spends the whole rest of the movie trying to buy the champagne brand. There's nothing about Christmas that extends the length of the movie, so it's a weird sort of. It's not even a movie that fully happens at Christmas. This isn't like Die Hard, where like the decision comes down to like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's they actually do kind of Christmas at the beginning, and then it's afterward. So and they kind of even chicken out and don't even do anything on New Year's. So it's not even like they're building up to New Year's, which would be a big day for champagne. They just kind of farted out. Like, whatever. Okay. Well, then whatever. I don't feel like I need to give you a fresh score. All right. Anyway, it was a waste of time. And I'll see you guys on the other side.